screaming. The whole building is just like shaking. Let's go, Duke!
All that energy, the fear of losing, the excitement of winning.
There is nothing finer than Duke, Carolina.
Cole Anthony back in the ding-dong.
The atmosphere of the game lifts you to a higher level.
When Duke, North Carolina play the next day, everybody knows who wins.
You just have to sit back and enjoy this. This is an ESPN Sonic Blockbuster. Welcome inside the Smith Center and a phenomenal environment. You wouldn't know Carolina is struggling this year by the noise in this building right now. Welcome to Chapel Hill. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, are we glad to have you along with us for this game? You've played in this rivalry. You know what it means. The energy's palpable right now.
It is the best rivalry, put simply, in sports, period. Nobody has this level of player, coach, championship level. It's been excellence from start to finish, and it really starts with the players. And the player to start with Duke is freshman Vernon Carey, who has been spectacular all season long. He's a left-hander. He's averaging close to 18 points a game. He is one of the top 5 rebounders in the ACC and one of the top 5 percentage shooters. He commands a double team inside, and he's the reigning ACC Player of the Week. You have got to keep him out of the paint and keep him off of the glass. He is a winning player. And for North Carolina, another freshman, Cole Anthony, who missed 11 games with an injury. He is back. This is his 3rd game back after that injury. He's averaging just under 20 points per game. He has not been shooting the best percentage over his last 2 games, but he is capable of going off, and Duke has to be on him from start to finish.
We are ready for the tip of our Sonic Blockbuster here in Chapel Hill. These two programs met for the first time 100 years ago. That's why you see some different looking commemorative jerseys that they are wearing today. And Leaky Black gets the Tar Heels on the board first.
Leaky Black was guarded by Wendell Moore, a nice little shot fake, and was able to get that mid-range jumper down.
A look at the Carolina lineup. A lot of injuries this year. Cole Anthony in his 3rd game back after knee surgery. Andrew Platek is open for a 3. And a great offensive rebound by Leaky Black. And the glass, Jay, is going to be one of the key barometers in this game tonight.
That's what North Carolina does, Dan. They are a great offensive rebounding team. They average 35% of their misses. That leads the Atlantic Coast Conference. And when the ball went inside to Armando Bacot, he was guarded by Vernon Carey. A double team came over, and Bacot very smartly passed a diagonal pass cross court to get that shot, and then blockout responsibilities became more difficult.
Battle of the big guys, Bacot and Carey. Mike Krzyzewski's made a couple of changes in his lineup. Wendell Moore Jr. in his 3rd game back after a broken bone in his hand is in the starting lineup tonight, as is Jack White instead of Matthew Hurt.
I think Mike Krzyzewski wanted to put a little more physicality, a little more age on the floor to start the game.
And a reach-in foul on Black. Well, these are numbers that you've probably seen if you're a college basketball fan, but they're so incredible, we got to show them to you again. Last 100 meetings, 50-50, and exactly the same number of points. I'm no math major. Well, actually, I am a math major. I'm a math major, and those numbers, you know what, Jay? Something's got to give tonight, don't you think?
It is absolutely remarkable, those numbers.
Anthony in transition. The pull-up 16-footer not there, and White rips down the rebound for Duke.
Anthony did a very good job defensively on Tre Jones, forcing him into a tough 2.
Carey thought about the 3, now puts it on the deck and lays it in, switching hands to lay it in with the right.
Just a simple little shot fake, and a Bacot beats him down the floor. Dan, we have not seen that very much from North Carolina this season. After a made field goal, able to get the ball down court and get a quick score.
Good matchup at the point between Tre Jones, the sophomore, Cole Anthony, the freshman, Jack White, too strong on the corner 3. And Anthony, who's a great defensive rebounder for a guard, brings it down for the Heels. Black for three. Rebound, Cassius Stanley. First meeting of two here in the regular season. They'll meet in Durham on the last Saturday of the regular season. Trey Jones calming things down for the Blue Devils.
There's a side ball screen. Stanley being guarded by Platek.
Look how far out Carolina's pushing Duke. Shot clock under 10.
Got the switch.
Moore driving on Brooks. Left hand, too strong. Rebound, Bacot.
A great challenge by Garrison Brooks on the switch.
Boy, Anthony's going to have a challenge with Jones, one of the best on-ball defenders in the country.
Well, really, North Carolina's looking to get the ball inside first. They want to play inside out with their two big guys.
Yeah, Brooks has had a terrific year. There he is to bank it in. He has turned into a huge part of this Carolina team.
Well, Duke gave up the middle drive to Andrew Platek and just a little drop-off. You have to protect the paint and cannot allow middle drives or straight line drives.
The hedge there by Bacot, and again the shot clock a factor. Tough pass, trying to thread the needle, and it's out of bounds to the Heels.
Andrew Platek with the ball on the wing after the reversal. Gets into the paint, draws Moore up to help up, and he was able to drop it off to Garrison Brooks. Just that little help allows that drop off. And Garrison Brooks has been outstanding all year long. The amount of minutes that he's played as a big guy, he's averaging 35 minutes a game. As a big guy, that is the most any big guy has played under Roy Williams.
He's a 15-9 guy as well. Bacot, a tough one. And down with the rebound, Javin DeLaurier, who has come in off the bench for Duke, taking the place of Jack White. Matthew Hurt is into the game as well. Perry's gone to the bench. Stanley can't finish. And here's Anthony. Numbers for Carolina. And Brooks fouled hard and will head to the line.
Well, Garrison Brooks took that hard to the basket. I thought Leaky Black would at first. But on the last play, Armando Bacot cannot avoid contact to try to keep from getting his shot blocked. He was going against Matthew Hurt. He needs to power that ball to the basket in order to get fouled, score, or both.
Jay, you're Carolina. You're 10-12. You're 3-8 in the league. You've been devastated by injuries. What's at stake for the Heels tonight? What kind of mindset does this team bring into this game?
Well, I think you heard Garrison Brooks talk about it before the game. It's that they feel like they are better than they have played and they're better than their record. And I think that's true. But they have to come out and prove it. And there's no better game to prove it than in the Carolina-Duke game.
Jordan Goldwire, who has been starting in off the bench early in this one for Duke. Jones still going. Pull up, short. Anthony tries to slide through a couple of defenders and draws the foul.
Boy, terrific 1-2 step. Not quite the Euro to draw that foul in transition. And North Carolina has brought intensity defensively, and they are passing ahead and running the court. That's the Carolina transition that Roy Williams has wanted to see all season long.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by H&R Block. With more ways to file, it's better with Block. And in part by Boost Mobile. Switch now and get unlimited gigs for the whole family. The switch that gives you more. Sonic Blockbuster, as we mentioned, this is the 100th anniversary season of the first time these two programs met. This is the 252nd meeting. First game January of 1920. Carolina holds the upper hand of the all-time series. Duke with a slight advantage since Mike Krzyzewski took over, and this is the 152nd consecutive game where at least one of these two teams was ranked heading into this game. Let's bring in Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, for North Carolina, it's a bit of an aberration this year. If you look at their record, it has been an unprecedented season with injuries. They've lost over 70 games to injury this season, and Roy Williams says, look, I understand nobody feels sorry for us, but I wake up every morning at 11 a.m. and call the athletic trainer and say, who can actually practice? I talked to Garrison Brooks about it, the only player starting tonight for the Tar Heels who's even scored against Duke, and he said, we're better than our record. We are very positive, and we believe we can be a good team. They've just got to get some consistency. With 8 different lineups so far this season, they've got to gel and find some chemistry.
And to Holly's point, Cole Anthony missed 11 games, his 3rd game back, and a guy they're missing tonight, Jay, and could really use is Brandon Robinson, out with his 2nd ankle injury of the season.
Brandon Robinson is their top 3-point shooter, and what a stud he was against NC State. Kept getting injured, kept coming back. Armando Bacot got away with a little push in the back there. Fortunate that wasn't called.
Duke off to a slow start offensively. Hurt with a nice look to Stanley, who buries a corner 3.
Just that little penetration to get into the paint allowed that cross-court pass to Cassius Stanley. Cassius Stanley turned into a star.
Anthony got rid of it just in time. Brooks, and just too many bodies in there. Goldwire knocks it away.
Well, that pass had to go in right away, high-low. If you hesitate, then the defense converges, and it wound up being a turnover.
Jones and Anthony, by the way, have played against one another before, back in their high school days. Whoa. Jones the catch. Stanley the 3. Good hustle by Delorier, but it's Carolina ball.
Great pass ahead.
And Brooks with a great pass to Bacot.
This is Carolina basketball. Diving on the floor, Leaky Black gets it to Cole Anthony, who passes ahead. That ball never hit the floor until it went through the basket. We have not seen this kind of transition basketball in most games from North Carolina. And this game, they have started it with their defense and turned defense into offense with Armando Bacot's willingness to run and Cole Anthony's willingness to advance pass, to pass ahead.
Bacot having a nice freshman season, averaging better than 10 points, 8 rebounds per game. And a Carolina staple, the tip out on the missed free throw, and they're rewarded with a bucket by Leaky Black.
You have to be alert when Carolina misses a free throw. They always look to tip it back if they can't grab it. And if you're alert, you can turn that into your offense. Instead, Carolina turned it into their own.
Vernon Carey back into the game for Duke. Hurt for 3. And an offensive rebound for Wendell Moore, but he lost it to Anthony. Justin Pierce, grad transfer, William and Mary into the game for the first time for the Heels.
That ball needed to go inside to Bacot. He was wide open with Carey on his hip.
Platek driving on Hurt, gets it to go. What a start for Carolina.
This Carolina team has not lost 12 games. I don't know where it's been, but it's here now. Anytime North Carolina's on the free throw line, you have to be aware that if they miss, they will try to tip the ball back. Can't grab it. Leaky Black tips it back. Carolina comes up with it, and then they converge on the offensive glass for the stick back. If you are alert, if Duke had been a little bit more alert, they can grab that ball and perhaps take it the other way to start their offense. But Carolina was the more alert team.
Foul on Pierce's first. Joey Baker into the game for the first time for Duke. Feeds Carey inside, and you got to imagine Duke's going to try to exploit that and get the ball into the Wooden Award candidate as often as they can.
Well, it was a great pass by Joey Baker because it was quick, but Vernon Carey did a terrific job of getting position.
Floater Anthony, count the basket, and a foul.
Cole Anthony is a playmaking point guard. He can make plays for others, but he can really make plays for himself. We showed this on game day this morning against Florida State, that instead of taking on the big guy and splitting that to get into the paint, he took it to the left side and wound up going into 2 defenders. That was just a great play to split those 2 defenders by Cole Anthony to get into the paint and knock that shot down.
And Anthony completes the 3-point play. It's a 9-point lead for the Heels. Brooks guarding Carey. Baker cut off, finds Carey, who lays in another one, and he gets fouled.
Boy, what a terrific move by Vernon Carey. It was just a little step and go, almost like a backdoor. Stepped out toward half court and just went back toward the basket after Baker had picked up his dribble here. Take a little step and go. That was almost like a backdoor cut on the wing to make himself available. A really smart move by the freshman.
And what a year Vernon Carey Jr. is having. 11 double-doubles, and each of them has been at least 15 points with double-figure rebounds, averaging about 18 points, 9 rebounds per game, blocking shots, just having a great freshman season.
He's just a workhorse. I mean, he's got to get the ball as much as possible. And he's coming off a 17-point, 10-rebound game against Boston College. His prior two, he averaged 26 points and 15 rebounds to be ACC Player of the Week.
Bacot back in for Carolina. White back in for Duke to guard him.
Duke is open contesting. They are showing their chest.
Christian Keeling, grad transfer from Charleston Southern, knocks down a jumper. Coming off a good game, his last outing for Carolina, had 14 points at Florida State on Monday.
Very good mid-range shooter, and he's starting to get to the mid-range more often. He needs to knock shots down.
Moore elevates, leaves it short.
And it's 1 and out for Duke. North Carolina not allowing any offensive boards.
Keeling again. He didn't take long to get acclimated in the rivalry, did he? Off the bench and with a couple of buckets. Jones off balance. Tough one will go.
Boy, North Carolina is forcing Trey Jones into really tough twos, and that was a big-time play he just made there.
The Heels up by 8. They have knocked down their last 5 shots.
Trey Jones almost face guarding Cole Anthony, making it difficult for him to get the ball back.
Play check. 7 on the shot clock. Keeling again. Why not?
Christian Keeling is very confident now in that mid-range shot, and he is seeking it out. The mid-range game not dead. Boy, Bacot's got to be careful. That's not a place where he wants to get a foul.
Jones the kick. Baker shot fake from the corner. Rebound Moore up and in.
Wendell Moore, coming back from injury, is an important addition back into the Duke lineup. He's strong, he's athletic, and he can guard multiple positions, and additionally, he gives him another ball handler.
Anthony using the screen, a little bit strong on the 3. Play check with the offensive board.
Long shots, long rebounds. Joey Baker didn't get a body on play tech. Here comes the double.
Bacot to Brooks. Brooks to Keeling. The follow no good, and it's Duke ball.
Anytime you are closing out to Christian Keeling, you want to close out short because he doesn't want to take the 3. He's going to try to get to the mid-range.
Jones probing. And again, very few second chances for Duke on the glass.
Carolina has been very solid defensively.
Nice pass. Brooks. The assist to Anthony, and it's back to a 10-point game. Timeout, Duke. When we come back, Cole Anthony, Jay Bilas going 94 feet.
"94 Feet with Cole Anthony," brought to you by Smile Direct Club.
Your dad was a great player. What was it like growing up with a dad that had that kind of rep and game and name?
It was cool. I mean, for a while, it was always, man, that's Greg Anthony's son. But there was a turning point where they start thinking, man, that's Cole Anthony's dad.
How much did your dad talk to you about the game?
He's really into it. He's almost as into it as me. It used to be he would call me after a game. I have to tell him, yo, shut up, Dad, stop talking to me. But probably after my freshman year, I would then start to call him because I realized he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to try to do everything I can to take all that knowledge from him.
Cole Anthony on the bench for the first time in tonight's game. As you said, he is a scoring guard. He's a guy who can create for himself it's about the balance between that and creating for his teammates. Just his third game back from the knee injury. Has scored a lot in the first 2 games back. Jay didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but a very talented kid.
Very talented, and he is a freak athlete, not just in his ability to run and jump. I don't mean that as an athlete, but he is incredibly well conditioned. Never gets tired, even after being out all this time with an injury, able to come back the last couple games and play huge minutes.
More ball handling responsibilities right now for Leaky Black, with Anthony on the bench. More on Cole Anthony. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, Cole Anthony had that timeout while he was recovering from the knee surgery, but he said, what I did was learn how to really think the game of basketball even more. I wanted to be a plus, not a minus when I got back out on the court, and I want to constantly get better. So I said, how do you get better today? He said, I have to make better decisions. I've got to be a better defensive player and rebounding. Guys, he's already got 5 rebounds in this first half.
Carey inside, triple team, doesn't matter. Thank you, Holly. As Vernon Carey Jr., every time he gets a touchdown low, good things are happening for Duke.
Well, he has to get the ball more. I mean, Vernon Carey is a load down there, and he commands a double team.
Justin Pierce taking jab at Laurier out of the perimeter. Now Brooks, jump hook. Tipped up, no good. Duke ball.
Carey being guarded by Garrison Brooks, and Brooks is an excellent defender, but he is not a shot blocker.
Baseline Moore, Keeling stays in front of him. Carey with a crossover, and a foul called on Carolina. It'll be Brooks.
Vernon Carey gets really good low post position and does a great job of sealing off. There just wasn't enough pressure on the ball to keep Trey Jones from throwing over the top. Because Garrison Brooks was essentially fronting Vernon Carey, the only way you can really keep that ball from going in there is you've got to pressure the ball, make Trey Jones turn his back so he doesn't have the vision to complete that pass.
We mentioned earlier Vernon Carey Jr. is one of the late season 20 Wooden Award candidates. Trey Jones is as well. Not only is Carey on the list, I mean, he's in the conversation, I would think, Jay, for National Player of the Year. Luka Garza's having a great year. Peyton Pritchard's having a great year, but Carey's got to be in the conversation.
Absolutely, and another guy that I think should be right at the top of that list is Obi Toppin from Dayton.
7:59 to go. Carolina up by 8. Aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Vernon Carey of Duke right now has 9 points early in this game. He is 4 of 4 from the field. Every time he's touched the ball, something good has happened for Dark Blue. The rest of the Blue Devils, 4 of 17 from the field. And North Carolina has gotten off to a very good start in this game. They are up 8-0 in fast break points. The question is, now that the game is settling in, can North Carolina sustain this effort? Not only to the end of the first half, but throughout the game.
There was 1 on the shot clock when that play started. Duke doesn't get it off in time.
Right now, Cole Anthony back on the floor. Leaky Black is going to bring the ball up. Anthony can work off the ball.
Moore is on Black, and Trey Jones is on Anthony.
Went with a set play, a little screen for the screener action.
Anthony rises up into the shot and buries it a long 2. He's got 7.
Anthony set the screen for Bacot to get him in the low post. Then he got a screen for that jump shot. Really well designed out of the timeout by Roy Williams.
Jones from the free throw line.
A really smart job by Trey Jones to take on Cole Anthony. They have got to make him guard.
Look at Bacot going to work down low and drawing the foul.
All right, take a look at Cole Anthony right there. Now he's coming off the screen. He'd already set the screen for Bacot, coming off the screen. And that was a difficult shot because Trey Jones had locked and trailed, and he was there to put a lot of pressure on that shot. But Anthony is an outstanding scorer. They run a lot of different sets out of a box set. So they'll have 2 guys on the block, 2 guys on the elbow, and they're working primarily to get the ball inside. A lot of teams like to run, and Carolina's one of them, little on big screens. Where they're cross screens, so it puts you in a position to have to switch. And you'll get a little guy and the big guy and the little guy. Cause a lot of problems for the defense.
I'll tell you what's causing problems right now for Carolina. They're missing free throws. They're just 4 of 10 from the line, but they've still got an 8-point lead.
Really good defensive effort by North Carolina. That's what this team is going to have to do. Get grittier on the defensive end.
Crowd loving the effort. Stanley hangs and hits.
What a big-time athlete. There's a lot of air underneath his shoes.
And Duke creeping back into it. Brooks wide open, gets the bounce.
And Carolina's done such a better job of moving the ball and moving themselves. Against Florida State, the Tar Heels stood around a lot on offense. That has not been the case in this game.
And how about 9 assists on 13 made field goals for the Tar Heels? Jones again creates a little separation. Can't knock it down.
North Carolina is forcing Duke into a lot of tough shots, and a lot of them are tough twos.
Great look inside. Black to Bacot.
Armando Bacot has been running the floor. He has been active. He's got great hands and feet, and is off to one of his best starts.
Moore with a penetration, stolen by Bacot.
Duke has not been as strong with the ball as North Carolina has been. Good pass.
Oh, Brooks wanted the ball inside, didn't get it. Keeling. And Bacot was going to the rim instead of looking for the pass.
Got to shoot that.
Moore right into Anthony to draw the foul. This week, our Big Monday doubleheader. Well, it starts about 8-9 miles up the road in Durham. Florida State and Duke in a matchup of top 10 teams. Jay will be there for that one. Then the #1 team of the nation, the Baylor Bears, take it on Texas in Austin. You can watch them on ESPN or on the ESPN app. Florida State picking up a win today, beat Miami 99-81. So Florida State now 10-2 in the league. They're a half game ahead of Duke. Duke 9-2. Louisville is on top of the league at 12-1. And this should be a great game that you're going to see Monday night, Jay.
Well, Florida State they played 16 different players today. 16 different guys. They come at you in waves, and they're more like tidal waves. And Devin Vassell is one of the best players in the country that does not get the credit that he deserves. He's an all-ACC caliber player, and that is going to be a battle Monday night.
Real separation, it appears, between the top 3 in the ACC and everybody else. Right now, Virginia, and Joe Lunardi had them in as of today. They lost at Louisville a little bit earlier today. Carolina hung around with Florida State on Monday night, missed a bunch of free throws in the second half, and wound up losing by 6 down in Tallahassee. Got an 8-point lead on the Blue Devils here. Trey Jones is on the bench for the first time tonight. Goldwire at the point.
And Goldwire not a scorer.
Baker. Can't get it off. Inside carry and 2 more and a foul.
What a pass. Terrific angle to get the ball into the post, but it was thrown where Vernon Carey could catch it and the defender could not get a hand on it. That's like throwing to the outside of a receiver toward the corner of the end zone. That was really well done. Just not enough pressure on the ball by Leaky Black to keep Joey Baker from throwing that ball inside.
Jay's second foul on Garrison Brooks. He stays in the game.
Just has to be smart. He's an experienced player. And Garrison Brooks has had a fantastic year. He's been a workhorse for North Carolina.
Bacot looking inside for Brooks.
Good pass.
Take it away. Yep.
What a steal by Stanley.
Stanley driving on Anthony, lays it in, and Duke is back within 4.
And Duke getting it off its defense. Duke has not gotten much in transition. Roy Williams telling his team to run.
And again, Anthony off the ball now more than he was earlier in the game.
And Goldwire is basically face guarding him, not helping off, just staying with Anthony.
Platek tried to scoop it up and in, couldn't do it, and the Blue Devils have it. Baker, great shot fake, and then missed the jam.
But Carolina needs to stay down on these fakes. Duke's lifting their eyebrows up, and Carolina's going with them.
Turnaround, Brooks, no. Boy, a good look for a guy who will knock that down 9 times out of 10.
Well, I'm surprised he faded away. He did get bumped, but instead of fading away, he should have taken that right up into the defense to get a foul and a score. Well, Stanley should drive this matchup.
Looking to dish. Carey starting a little bit further out on the perimeter. Missed the jumper.
The first time he has settled. He can certainly make that shot, but after one pass, think pass it back out and repost.
Brooks, they're going to give him the shot. Confusion now. White talking to Goldwire and Carey about assignments. Somebody missed on Brooks there.
Little horn set. Cassius Stanley was trying to post Platek out of the corner.
How about Carey making a tough one and fouled as well? Roy Williams not happy.
Well, he thought there was a push-off, but Vernon Carey has been the go-to guy for this Blue Devil team. Instead of passing inside, just drives it to his right and makes a very difficult shot.
Great crowd this morning for game day here at the Smith Center. Roy Williams was in good spirits. The guys were in good spirits, as they always are, and that enthusiasm and adrenaline is carried into the game tonight. For their thoughts on the first half, let's send it over to Holly, who is with Seth Greenberg and LaFonso Ellis.
Well, Alfonso, good things happen when Duke throws the ball into Vernon Carey Jr. How can they do more of that?
I think that he's got to touch the basketball every time down the floor. North Carolina doesn't have anybody that can guard him. I thought Carolina's done a great job of taking care of the basketball, not allowing Duke to get easy points in transition.
Excellent point. Coach, basketball never disappoints. Another crazy day across the country.
Let me tell you, Duke, Carolina makes no difference. College basketball always delivers. Think about LSU and Auburn. Think about the scene at Indiana today. Think about Villanova and Seton Hall today. Every single night, it's a great game.
Seth Greenberg is a walking, talking promo department right now. He previewed the Jeep halftime report all by himself. And a moment, I don't know about you, Jay, I never thought we'd see Bob Knight walk back into Assembly Hall, and he was there today for the 40th anniversary honoring the Big Ten champs of 1980.
Well, it was an amazing scene and a great day for Bob Knight, a great day for his players at Indiana, and a fabulous day for Indiana basketball. A 1-2-2 three-quarter court pressure for Duke, trying to give some different looks to North Carolina.
Platek turns it over in the corner. Duke with numbers.
A little bit of a different lineup for Duke right now, looking at a little high-low.
Carolina's led by as many as 10. Jones, no. Ball still loose. It belongs to Pierce in the heels.
Good job defensively by Cole Anthony to force another tough two by Trey Jones.
Oh! Anthony!
He really long-stepped that one, didn't he? And that a really good call because Javin DeLaurier just slid right in there. But Cole Anthony smart enough and savvy enough to get that ball up off the rim, not only to draw a couple of free throws, but the chance to make the shot, and he made it. That's a big-time play by Cole Anthony.
And getting the crowd all fired up in the aftermath of that.
And Carolina needed that. They'd had a few empty possessions.
And it looks like now, with just a couple of minutes left in the half, that Roy Williams won't risk it. Brooks and his 2 fouls are on the bench, and they'll go with Bacot and Pierce up front.
Ball needs to go into Vernon Carey. They're going to run a high horn set, 2 guys in the corners, 2 guys up top. Very smart to isolate Carey in the low post. Bacot had to just grab him. He just dove from the top. They ran it higher, above the top of the key, and that gave him a lot of room, Vernon Carey, to dive down in the low post. And he was able to get Bacot on his hip. Bacot had to grab him to keep him from getting the ball and scoring easily.
Number 2 on Bacot, so now he's got to be careful. And now Roy Williams doesn't want to risk it. Bacot is out, and seldom used Walker Miller is going to get a couple of minutes of action here at the end of the first half.
North Carolina basically needs to use clock every time down just to get to halftime.
Tonight, NBA Saturday primetime. The Lakers are in San Francisco to take on Draymond Green and the Warriors. Our coverage tips with The Jump at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC and also on the ESPN app. Boy, this is a big minute 51 for Carolina, isn't it? Pierce, Miller, Platek, Keeling, and Anthony. Here's the drive and the lay-in.
That was just a blow-by. He just blew right by Joey Baker, got all the way to the rim, and Walker Miller was able to shield out Vernon Carey. What a big play.
Carey double-teamed at the other end, swings it. Stanley for 3. Keeling with a rebound. Brooks, Bacot, and Black all on the bench with 2 fouls in this patchwork Carolina lineup trying to navigate its way through the last 2 minutes. Pierce doing a pretty good job. What a couple of moments for Justin Pierce.
Justin Pierce scored 3 points against Florida State, went 1 of 7. First, the blow-by, guarded by Joey Baker, and Vernon Carey can't get over or does not come over to try to block that shot, and then given an opening, knocks down an open 3 with Carey trying to close out late. 5 quick points when he only had 3 points, 1 of 7 against Florida State.
And it is shaking in the student section here at the Smith Center. Foul on Walker Miller sends Carey to the line. And he continues to put up numbers. 17 points in the first half.
Hard to believe that Vernon Carey is a teenager.
6'10", 270, incredibly soft touch. And as Mike Krzyzewski told us before the game, hard worker, shows up, listens well, does everything that they ask of him day after day.
They'd like him to become a little bit more vocal, call for the ball more, talk more on defense, but who wants to nitpick? The guy's a player, National Player of the Year candidate with the way he's performed.
You don't need to be any more vocal, by the way. We're good. Final minute of the first half. It has been fun. It has been loud. Platek, shot fake, drive. Got it!
What a heady play to shot fake and drive by Platek, and that finish. What did we say, Dan Shulman? It always delivers, and it's delivering again. Here comes the scramble. Quick trap.
6 seconds. Goldwire lost it. And the first half comes to a close with the underdog Tar Heels leading Duke by 9. A couple of freshmen leading the way for their respective teams. What a 20 minutes here in Chapel Hill. 44-35 Carolina. After these messages, the Jeep halftime report with Reese and the guys from the Dean Dome. Welcome back to Saturday Primetime, presented by H&R Block. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. And what a first half it was. What great energy and noise here in the building. Cole Anthony playing in the Carolina-Duke rivalry for the first time. Had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in the first half. Vernon Carey Jr. playing in this rivalry for the first time had 18 points in the first half, efficient both from the field and from the line. And as if that wasn't enough, Carolina leading at the half. The fans got a huge thrill at halftime as Joel Berry's jersey number was raised to the rafters among so many other greats who have worn that Carolina jersey over the years. Hi, everybody, and welcome back inside the Smith Center. Dan Shulman and Jay Billis. What a great half of basketball. What's your takeaway?
As hard as Carolina's played all year long, they played in that first half. They had 11 points in transition. That's their season average. Out-rebounded Duke by 8. The only downside was Vernon Carey had 18 points in that first half, 6 of 7 from the field. The rest of the Blue Devils, 7 of 24.
Moments ago, Holly Rose spoke with Roy Williams.
Well, Coach, your team kept telling me they're better than their record. How did they show you that so far in the first half?
Well, I think we played harder and used our brain a lot more than we have been. And yes, some shots went in for us as well. But Duke is fantastic. They just keep coming at you. We got to answer that, and we got to keep the attack on them as well.
That was my next question. Vernon Carey Jr. has been a problem. How do you have answers for him?
Try to keep him off the foul line. We don't get to guard him there, but not let them lob it over the top for an easy layup, too.
Thank you, Coach.
And we're ready for the start of the second half of our Sonic blockbuster. And right away, Jay, we see two guys starting the second half for Duke who did not start the game. Matthew Hurt is on the floor, as is Joey Baker.
That provides a little bit more shooting, a little bit more offense, try to spread the floor.
Black got himself in trouble and turns it over. 59% field goal percentage for Carolina in the first half, the best they've had in the first half of any game this season. Knocked out of bounds by Leaky Black.
Armando Bacot, the freshman, is guarding fellow freshman Vernon Carey. One thing that Bacot cannot do is he can't get in a wrestling match down low with Carey because Carey can lock him down. What he needs to do is move his feet, break contact, try to get around in front and discourage passes from coming in there.
Remember, Bacot's got 2. Brooks has 2. Leaky Black has 2 for Carolina. Stanley, good defense by Playtech, and Stanley just elevates over the top.
It's a big-time play by Cassius Stanley, who is emerging as a truly outstanding player.
Jones takes it away from Anthony and then lays it in. Jones went looking for the contact as well. Good no call there, but it is a bucket, and all of a sudden, Duke back within 5.
Talk about offense-initiated contact.
Bacot and a block, the call on Vernon Carey.
Anytime you show the ball to Trey Jones, you are subject to getting it taken away. And Cole Anthony puts it right in front of Jones, who took it away. And then look at, he goes right into Cole Anthony to knock him away so he can put that layup in. Just a terrific defensive play by one of the best defenders in the country, Trey Jones.
Second foul on Carey sends Bacot to the line. Bacot playing very well tonight. So many freshmen in this game. What do you remember about the first Duke-Carolina game that you played in? Not so much the score and what happened, but your feelings. Was there anxiety going into the game? What was it like?
Guarding Sam Perkins and Brad Daugherty, there was anxiety, yes. I remember leaning in for a free throw blockout and Brad Daugherty leaning next to me and going, "I'm going to beat you like a dog." And all I could wonder is, I wonder what kind of dog he has.
Hurt couldn't get the shot off. Stanley will. Out of bounds, it'll be Carolina ball. Interesting, when we talked to the two coaches during the day, Roy Williams at their shoot-around earlier this afternoon, Mike Krzyzewski before the game, about whether or not they talked to their players about this rivalry and how it is different. Roy Williams said no, not really, and Mike Krzyzewski said yes, that the coaching staff does talk to them a little bit about the environment in which they're going to play here tonight.
Well, you have to process that environment. I think Roy Williams was referring to, he doesn't have to do anything motivational because everybody else does it for him in this thing.
Look at Bacot. He's playing hard but couldn't finish.
Has to go up stronger. He was going against Joey Baker, who is in great position, but he's got to be stronger.
Brooks with a steal, ahead to Black. And Carolina's back to that 9-point advantage they enjoyed at halftime.
This has been Carolina's best defensive effort of the young season.
Bacot with a block from behind. Heels in transition. And Bacot is fouled.
Much better job by Armando Bacot, not just of running the floor, which he has done a good part of this game, but he sought out the contact there to get the foul. You can see a terrific job to get that loose ball and the presence of mind to throw ahead for yet another transition bucket, turning defense into offense for North Carolina, which has not been the norm on the season.
And Jay, Matthew Hurd, who's only played 7 minutes tonight, has not scored. Just picked up his 4th foul. He goes to the bench, and Javin DeLaurier takes his place.
And Carolina just missed, what, their 7th free throw of the basketball game? They've got to knock free throws down. You cannot afford to be 50% from the line in this game.
Carolina, as you know, decimated by injuries this year, under 500, near the bottom of the ACC. But looking for a huge win here against Duke. If nothing else, just to try to make them feel better about themselves heading down the stretch. Carey spins, lost it, out of bounds, Carolina ball.
Boy, Vernon Carey spun off a double team. The double team came from the low side, surprisingly, and spun into the lane. Looked like he got hit when he was going up. But North Carolina coming over to get the ball out of his hands. Thought they would go to the high side to keep him from getting to the middle.
And
good pass.
Black. Platek with a weak side rebound. And a smart job to bring that ball back out. Tough one by Anthony. Knocks it down, having himself a night. And it's the largest lead of the game for Carolina. Stanley slams it down to the other end.
Set play to try to lift the Carolina defense up, just go against the overplay. And Cassius Stanley, when he gets the ball with some space, he can elevate.
Assertive move by Bacot, but he couldn't finish. And we have a foul called on Andrew Platek.
Well, how about Platek going to the offensive glass 2 plays in a row? He got an offensive rebound on the baseline, was able to kick it back out. Nobody puts a body on Platek, able to go in after the ball, and winds up picking up a foul as a result. But he grabbed an offensive rebound on the other end, the play before on the other side of the floor, and that led to a North Carolina basket. People thought Platek got fouled. The foul was actually on Platek.
Platek forced into a much larger role because of all the injuries that Carolina sustained this year. Stanley trying to turn the corner. Still going. Forced it up. Bacot down with it. And he got fouled. Did he get poked in the eye, maybe? Hard to tell, but whatever it was, he appears to be okay.
Duke went with a side ball screen there, and the corner was occupied. I think they'll be better off if they get that corner open. But Cassius Stanley just reaching in after Bacot grabbed the defensive rebound, picked up a foul and a needless one 90 feet from the basket.
Immediate timeout coming in at the next whistle after 16 minutes, so Carey will get a breather here. Jack White's back in for Duke.
Leaky Black handling the ball. That means Cole Anthony can work as a 2-guard and a shooting guard.
And away from the ball, Garrison Brooks just got whistled for a foul. Number 3 on Brooks.
And that's what you don't want to do as a big guy. Pick up a screening foul. Just stay set and let the offensive player use the screen. Don't lean into the screen.
Jones into traffic. Nicely done.
I'll tell you, you have got to be strong with the ball. This has been a physical game. See Jack White. Oh, good pass.
Black over the top to Brooks. And the Smith Center is rocking again.
That's a staple of the North Carolina secondary break, that wing ball screen.
Well, Platek digging there on Jones, trying to knock the ball away.
But we haven't seen North Carolina execute quite like this, perhaps since the Bahamas, maybe even all season.
Great look. DeLaurier from Jones.
Anytime Carolina goes to trap, you have 2 on the ball, 2 interceptors that are taking away the most obvious pass, but there's got to be a goalie that protects the basket. And that time the goalie left the net.
I like when you try to speak in my language.
Well, that's what Carolina calls it. They call it a goalie.
Platek had it rejected on the baseline, and back come the Blue Devils. Trying to turn the tide. Goldwire to a cutting Stanley. Won't go down, but he draws the foul.
North Carolina has always had a very dangerous secondary break. Not enough pressure on the ball. The wing back screen for Garrison Brooks, and that is a high percentage shot.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Car Hop Classic, only at Sonic. This week, our Big Monday doubleheader starts in ACC country. In fact, just about 8 miles away from here. Durham, North Carolina, Duke hosting Florida State. Monday night, 7 Eastern, then at 9 Eastern into the Big 12, where the top-ranked team of the nation, Baylor, squares off against Texas. Both games available on ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN app. Today, the NCAA Selection Committee released its preliminary reveal, its first look, if you will, at who they consider to be the top 16 right now. These would be the top 4 seeds in each region going into the tournament. I don't think any surprise at who's on the 1 line. You see Duke and Dayton among the teams on the 2 line. And then the ACC has another team highly thought of in Florida State as a 3 seed. Seton Hall got a big win over Villanova today. Any thoughts about how the top 16 flowed today?
No quarrel with it. Yep. I thought a good job by the committee to put that out. I thought that West Virginia was a little bit high, and that was before the loss today. Good job by Garrison Brooks of getting really good position down under the basket. And Vernon Carey not happy with that call. That's his 3rd foul. And you can't. Ted Valentine is not going to listen to a freshman. He's got his arms wrapped around Garrison Brooks. There's no question that was a foul.
As Jay mentioned, number 3 on Carey with 14:20 to go. Keeling, 3 big buckets off the bench for the Heels in the first half. Brooks gets a touch. Black saves it.
Goldwire switched off onto Brooks.
Deflected away by Carey, and it bounces to Brooks for a bucket.
Duke got the deflection, couldn't grab the ball. Instead of taking it the other way, it's an easy Carolina basket.
Carey can't finish, got it back, stripped away.
Got to go up with it right away.
And look at Anthony dribble his way out of trouble. Carey giving chase.
Good pass.
Keeling. Yes!
How about Mr. Midrange? Christian Keeling has been a different player the last 2 games. His mid-range jumpers have been huge.
It's been such a great rivalry, basically, for as long as any of us can remember. Remember this game, Jeff Capel hitting the shot back in 1995, although Carolina went on to win in double overtime. Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T, getting the worst of that one in 2007. Austin Rivers right here with a game winner for Duke in 2012. And then last year in the first meeting at Cameron when Zion Williamson blew out his shoe. You know what they tell me, Joe? They say it always delivers.
Whoever came up with that was a genius. High-low.
Brooks jump hook.
Just a great job of execution by North Carolina. Out of the timeout after getting a stop to get the ball into the low post to Garrison Brooks with an angle.
And Carolina's actually grown the lead from halftime after Duke got it down to 4 for a while. Now another turnover. Bacot finds Black.
Walk.
And Brooks called for the travel.
Well, North Carolina has just been stronger defensively. Duke on drives. Vernon Carey brings the ball down, gets it knocked away. Trey Jones on his last drive got it knocked away. You have to be stronger with the ball. This is a big-time game.
Brooks will sit. Justin Pierce is in. Justin Pierce had about as good a 45 seconds late in the first half as you can have, with a 2 and then a 3. Made a couple of great plays for the Heels.
Well, North Carolina didn't have a lot of offense on the floor. He had that great drive and then the open 3.
Boy, Stanley. Impressive stuff on the drive, and then he draws the foul.
Well, even if he didn't get fouled there, didn't go up with that shot, Alex O'Connell made a very nice cut out of the right corner. He would have had a layup if Stanley would have delivered the ball down low. Right now, Duke's offense has really come from only 3 guys: Vernon Carey, Cassius Stanley, and Trey Jones. Whereas North Carolina has 5 or 6 guys that have 7 points or more.
Yeah, those 3 guys you mentioned have combined for 41 of the 47 Duke points. We see Alex O'Connell in the game for the first time tonight now for the Blue Devils.
O'Connell's athletic. He can shoot it.
I remember you talking about sometimes in warm-ups your adrenaline's going so much for this game that sometimes you're somewhat exhausted after the layup line because your heart's beating so quick.
You can wear yourself out. The building's hotter, the air's heavier.
Tipped away by Black.
Well, you have to see the defense before you pass it to the offense.
3-on-1. Keeling, no, it's an offensive foul. Bacot called for a charge after he delivered the pass.
Well, Roy Williams doesn't like the call. That's what they do in college basketball. They always call this. I think they should stop calling it because I don't think it's a good call. But it always, it's without fail. But that's one of the reasons you don't want to throw it to a center that far away from the basket on the break.
O'Connell knocks down a 3.
Boy, how about that 5-point swing? 2 that Carolina had to 3 for Duke after O'Connell's 3.
That has quieted the crowd for the first time in a long time here in Chapel Hill.
I thought Carolina was going to look for a backdoor cut.
Anthony. Pierce. Offensive rebound, Keeling, but it's knocked away.
Probably would have been better to bring that one back out.
Moore. Oh, and he went right by Pierce. Pierce kind of faded to the corner to cover O'Connell.
Boy, not a good sequence for North Carolina, but an excellent response by Duke to cut it to a 2-possession game. The question is, can Carolina get the ball inside here?
Media timeout on the next stoppage. Black, no. Keeling fighting for it, but lost it. And it's going against Duke. Moore called for the charge. The 100th anniversary season of this great rivalry. And it's the Tar Heels looking to pull off the upset tonight. Allison, thank you. Baylor taking on Texas Monday night in the second game of the big Monday doubleheader. You'll see Duke in the first game as they host Florida State. Duke getting all that they can handle right now from North Carolina. The Heels have led by as many as 12, up by 6 right now. Anthony, the kick. Black to Keeling. Rattles home a 3. What a night he's having.
Started by the penetration along the baseline by Cole Anthony, but the excellent passing by North Carolina to get the ball to the other side of the floor.
You know, a lot of talk, Jay, after the last game about Cole Anthony's decision-making. When to go and try to score himself, when to involve his teammates. I think his decision-making has been outstanding tonight.
Much better. There's no question. And a terrific job of Christian Keeling of being ready to shoot as the ball arrives. And Keeling, not a great three-point shooter, just shooting 21% from 3. He is a mid-range player. but because he had his feet set and had plenty of time, could knock it down.
How about Carey trying a three? Moore keeps it alive for Duke. Stanley, yes. And the last whistle was the fourth foul on Armando Bacot. Make a note of that. He's gone to the bench. Justin Pearson for the Heels.
Well, Bacot picked up that fourth because Duke was able to isolate Vernon Carey for round one in the post. And Carey has not been able to get a bucket in this second half after being near unstoppable in the first half.
Carolina's not very deep because of all the injuries. Basically, 7 guys. You see Platek and Bacot on the bench and the other 5. Walker Miller played for a couple of minutes late in the first half because of foul trouble, but Roy Williams really only has 7 at his disposal.
Yeah, they can play small, but that takes away an advantage they have with their 2 big guys playing together. And now there's not as much of a matchup advantage.
Good look inside to Brooks.
But now they know exactly who they're going to, and it's going to be Garrison Brooks.
8 for 10 on the night. Moore is fouled before the shot.
And you have to expect Duke to keep driving the ball on their end. But Garrison Brooks was able to just come across the middle of the lane. He cut across the face of Vernon Carey and then got him on his hip. The ball went in, and just a beautiful left shoulder jump hook.
With more on Garrison Brooks, let's bring in Holly.
Every North Carolina player I spoke to yesterday said, we got to get the ball into G. We got to get the ball into G. That means Garrison. And even he said, we've got to make Vernon Carey and the bigs of Duke defend. They did not do that great in the first half. Just 9 post-entry touches in the first half for North Carolina. They're doing much better job here. Plus, Vernon Carey playing with those fouls, he might be being a little bit more careful.
Carey's gone to the bench. DeLaurier just came back in, and a Duke foul. It's on DeLaurier, and that'll put Carolina into the bonus.
Well, Garrison Brooks is such a solid low post player at both ends of the floor. He's an excellent defender, always in the right position. But against Florida State, North Carolina didn't get much movement on offense. It's been a totally different team in this game. But he only had 5 points on 2 of 8 from the field. He just didn't get enough touches.
So both teams are in the bonus now, Jay, with a 9.5 to go as they're confirming who the foul was on. So far tonight, there you see the free throw disparity. They've each taken to 15, but Carolina has left some opportunities on the line. They're going to have to do better than that down the stretch. They're confirming who the shooter should be, who was fouled, and it's Keeling as he goes to the line. Sports Center tonight after Gonzaga St. Mary's with John Buccigross and Kenny Mayne. Kenny. Reaction and analysis from UFC 247 following the light heavyweight championship fight. LeBron's first game at the Chase Center in San Francisco, and the XFL season kicks off. We'll have full coverage of both games.
Duke's got to drive the ball and get it into the paint and attack the rim.
Moore, a guy who can do that. Here he goes. Good D by Brooks. Stanley with a great shot fake. Keeling the rebound.
Or at least the closeout by Leaky Black got Cassius Stanley off the three-point line. Good pass.
Going into Brooks again.
He went right into the chest of the defender. That's a man's play by Garrison Brooks. And what a terrific job by North Carolina of reversing the ball, getting to the other side of the floor.
And this matches the Tar Heels' largest lead of the night. O'Connell in trouble.
Boy, Carolina has just been stronger. Great split of the defenders.
Anthony, no. Brooks the rebound. And a good decision by Keeling.
Yeah, smart play. The shot clock reset to 20. New rule this year.
Anthony, floater. Jones the rebound.
Well, he can make that shot, but that was not the shot that Carolina wanted.
Look at Jones, transition 3, well short.
And Anthony showing he is an excellent guard rebounder.
Number 6 on the night. DeLaurier with a steal. Stanley off to Moore, yes.
Javin DeLaurier with a really alert play to make that steal. Otherwise, it would have been another easy bucket for North Carolina. You have to expect that Carolina wants to try to get the ball to Garrison Brooks.
Pierce, turnaround.
Those are 2 shots in a row that I don't think North Carolina wanted. When you've got a 12-point lead at home, you have to be efficient with your shot selection.
10-point lead, Carolina, 7:17 to go. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by H&R Block. With more ways to file, it's better with Block.
Well, North Carolina junior Garrison Brooks has been spectacular. From the mid-range, knocking shots down, gets the back pick for the lob dunk, and in the low post, he has been very efficient. 18 points on 9 of 11 from the field. 4 rebounds, a couple assists, a block, and a steal. He has been a workhorse on both ends of the floor for North Carolina. And Dan, coming into this game, Garrison Brooks was the only Tar Heel that had ever scored against Duke.
He is scoring in bunches tonight. Let's bring in Holly.
Well, Garrison Brooks said he knows a little something about rivalries. He's from Lafayette, Alabama. Briefly went to Auburn. He said, I have been to 3 Auburn-Alabama games. I know what a rivalry feels like. He said, it is so crazy. He puts this rivalry, North Carolina-Duke, right up there with one of football's greatest. He said, after you've been to the Iron Bowl, everything else is icing, but he's playing pretty well here tonight. He shows his experience in this moment.
And Holly, are you enjoying your first Duke-Carolina game here in the Dean Dome?
I'm such a nerd. I'm just chills every time they come down.
8-point lead, Carolina, 7:17 to go. A little pressure by Duke, and the Tar Heels get through it, and then O'Connell with a foul to put Platek on the line.
And Cole Anthony's made some very good decisions in this game. You know, he's got 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, but only 1 turnover in his 31 minutes of play.
You mentioned it in the first half. The shape he's got to be and the stamina that he's shown in just his 3rd game back after the knee surgery is remarkable for Anthony.
It's a joke. I mean, he is an incredibly well-conditioned athlete. He never gets tired.
Cassius Stanley coming back in for the Blue Devils. O'Connell will sit.
Duke has to figure out a way to run an action to get the ball inside to Vernon Carey. They have got to reestablish him going down the stretch.
Carey has not scored in the second half after putting up 18 points in the first half.
Now you give a lot of credit to Garrison Brooks because right now it is mano a mano. Brooks, the more experienced player, and an excellent defender. Brooks plays Carey before he gets the ball, not after.
Stanley, good closeout by Platek. Stanley, the drive, no.
Push.
Carey called for the push.
Right in the back. That was Garrison Brooks at his finest as a defender. He fought Vernon Carey, stayed in front of him, played him before he was able to catch the ball, and then boxes him out. Carey had no choice but to push in order to get that rebound.
And Carey just picked up number 4.
You know, that's the kind of thing, Dan, that doesn't show up in a box score, but that was a big-time play by Garrison Brooks, that entire defensive sequence against the freshman Vernon Carey, who had been torching North Carolina in the first half.
6:49 to go. Carey stays. Brooks at the line. And Carey down with a rebound. Again, Carolina's been hit and miss at the line tonight. Good D by Anthony.
Great job staying in front. Another good defender, Leaky Black, got blown by.
How about Goldwire laying it in?
Goldwire's such a great athlete.
His first points of the night.
Carolina's going to get trapped here.
Anthony, good look. Wow. That's one way to break the pressure, isn't it? And give Leaky Black a lot of credit. He set that up. Carey bowling his way in. Carolina ball.
Boy, give credit to Andrew Platek coming over from the weak side to knock that ball away. And Vernon Carey, after getting it knocked away, is limping. Carey had inside position to be able to score on Garrison Brooks, and Andrew Platek came over from the weak side to low side and was able to knock that away.
So Carey sits, DeLaurier's back in.
North Carolina has been a different team in this game. A little 2-3 zone by Duke now. Two excellent defenders up top in Goldwire and Jones. Cannot pick up your dribble. Have to penetrate this off the dribble. You beat man-to-man with a pass, you beat a zone with dribble penetration.
Pierce from the elbow. Gets a very friendly roll, and Carolina's got its largest lead of the game. Working on the right leg of Carey on the bench. Corner three, no. Brooks the rebound. Leaky Black with the ball. Jay, he's got a career-high 9 assists tonight.
Well, he's got 7 points and 7 or 8 rebounds. I mean, he's a couple of plays away from a triple-double in this game.
Guy's been bothered by foot problems
pass.
a lot. Whoa! Rejected by Moore. Carolina ball with 9 on the shot clock.
Boy, Dan, you know, for those that say that the mid-range game is dead, North Carolina's been proving that wrong in this game. I don't know exactly what their numbers are, but North Carolina has been outstanding with their mid-range shooting and their decision-making. That's a heck of a block by Wendell Moore. Basket saving.
Boy, from the moment this game began, Carolina's been playing almost like their lives depended on it. Their season depended on it. They have played incredibly hard, and here comes Carey back into the game for Duke.
Well, this is what we've talked about all season long with North Carolina. They're better than they've been playing. They needed to do it harder, do it better, and do it more consistently. And they have done that to this point in the game. That's a tough shot.
Yeah. Anthony, we haven't seen many of those. Pierce runs it down, and it got the rim, so they've got 20 more seconds to work with.
And Justin Pierce is a very good offensive rebounder. The third leading offensive rebounder on this Carolina team.
Moore takes it away from Black, and Leaky Black called for the foul, number 4.
Cole Anthony and Trey Jones have had a fantastic battle in this ball game. And both of them, Jones trying to defend an excellent offensive player, and Anthony perhaps taking the battle a little too far on that one play. He's made great decisions, but that was not a great shot.
One and one for Moore. Healing in for Black, who, as we mentioned, has 4. Well, Roy Williams really has only played 7 tonight. Again, the 2 minutes for Walker Miller notwithstanding, but he's gotten solid contributions, Jay, out of all 7. Healing's been good. Pierce has done some good things.
Everybody really in a light blue uniform has done some good things.
Yeah. Baycott's played hard.
Sticking with the 2-3 zone. Once it's in the middle, Carolina can still attack the rim.
Pierce. Yes. Boy, he looks comfortable stepping into that shot from the elbow.
No hesitation. I mean, he knew he was going to be wide open, but there was 0 hesitation.
Carey. Platek in to help, and it's on Carey. And Carey's done.
That is the second or third time that Andrew Platek has come over from the weak side. Carey tries to spin away from Garrison Brooks, and Platek there to take the charge just as Carey was going up. Really smart and alert defensive play. And Carolina put a lot of bodies around Vernon Carey in this second half. Give the lion's share of the credit to Garrison Brooks for the defensive job that he has done in the second half.
So after being dominant in the first half, Carey could never quite get going in the second half. He's done for the night. And Platek slid his feet a little bit and turns it over. And And this is something you don't see every day. After he fouled out, Vernon Carey Jr. goes over to shake the hand of Roy Williams. Stanley. And he's fouled. Well, he looks like he can get fouled just about any time he puts the ball on the deck. Carey's out. Less than 4 to go. Heels by 13.
Hey everyone, it's Ariel Helwani here in Houston for UFC 247. You know, Michael Jordan played at UNC, and the Michael Jordan of mixed martial arts is John Jones. He's fighting tonight against Dominic Reyes. Also, Valentina Shevchenko against Caitlin Chukagian. It's going to be amazing. Dare I say lit. Dan Shulman, you're Canadian. I'm Canadian. Do me a favor. Watch it tonight. ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Also, Jay Billis, I'm a big fan. Love you.
Ariel, my man.
Get in line.
247. Hey, if he had to choose, the Canadian is the tiebreaker.
He would choose the Canadian.
Yes. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Holly Rose, 77-64, Carolina. They have led almost the entire night. If you're just joining us, Vernon Carey Jr. has fouled out of the game just moments ago. And Roy Williams has gotten great contributions out of everybody he has put in the game tonight. A very small Duke lineup right now with Carey having fouled out.
There is still a long way to go in this game. And one thing that Duke has got to do is try to spread the floor, drive the ball, and try to kick it to open shooters. Great cut.
Platek, another cut, this time by Pierce. And a Duke foul.
Terrific job by Garrison Brooks when Pierce had the ball under the basket, had to pick up a dribble. Brooks came to the front of the rim. And big guys, when there's a baseline drive, get to the front of the rim. He did that, and he winds up going to the free throw line as a result.
Which is about the only thing he has not done well tonight, and that continues. Brooks just 59% on the season. Roy Williams would take the odd make here and there. Brooks is 0 for 4 tonight.
I can't think of a player in the ACC that's been more reliable, though. I'm not talking from the free throw line, but in everything else than Garrison Brooks this year.
Baker with a 3. Duke back within 8. Still a lot of time. Mike Krzyzewski with this smaller lineup. More shooters with Baker and O'Connell in the game. Anthony with a runner off the rim. Jones for 3.
And you wonder if Roy Williams might go with Armando Bacot back in the ballgame to give North Carolina 2 bigs instead of trying to match Duke with size. To put Bacot back in, you got 2 big guys that they can pound the ball inside.
Bacot on the bench with 4. Same with Leaky Black. And just as we say that, both of them get up to go to the scorer's table.
Well, we didn't say that. I said it.
You're still smarting over that Canadian thing, huh? Tough turnaround there by Pierce. Gives it back to the Blue Devils. 2:40 to go. O'Connell knocked out of bounds by Anthony. Duke ball, and here come Bacot and Black.
I think this is a good call. Give North Carolina more size. Make Duke match up to Carolina's size inside.
18 on the shot clock, 2:33 in the game.
It also gives North Carolina better rim protection.
Jones gets inside, left hand, no. Bacot the rebound. Don't need to force anything. Platek to Bacot, and it's back to 10.
How about that touch?
Stanley, no. Moore is fouled. Bacot was the guy lying on the court, and Moore tripped over him. Foul goes on Anthony.
Terrific job by Andrew Platek to come to a jump stop, pivot, and he found Armando Bacot. That is a tough shot that Bacot hit right there. Just a beautiful touch by the freshman big guy.
Bacot's got 11 and 7 tonight. Anthony picked up the foul, his 3rd. Two shots the rest of the way for both teams. And it looks like Mike Krzyzewski's going to start subbing a little offense, defense. Goldwire will check in for Moore if Moore makes the second free throw.
And there are still a lot of possessions left in this ball game with 2:06 to go.
Anthony's still going. And that might be one that the Heels wish they had back. Tough shot with 2 minutes to go, and O'Connell comes down and rattles home a three. Big swing. Down to 6, a minute 45 to go. This one's not over yet. Still a minute 45 to go, and Duke's got it down to 6 in transition. Alex O'Connell, Jay, with his second three of the night.
Just too easy in transition. After the questionable shot by Cole Anthony, a terrific job by Tre Jones in finding Alex O'Connell trailing and stepping into that three. And Carolina has to do a better job of guarding the three-point line, both in the half court and in transition.
Got to handle the pressure and then got to make good decisions if they get it into the front court. Ball was deflected and knocked out of bounds by O'Connell. The Duke bench is screaming for a double dribble.
No, they weren't.
On Anthony.
They were screaming for a foul on Garrison Brooks on that screen under the basket. They thought that Garrison Brooks leaned into a screen, and they were right. It just didn't get called.
Anthony to inbound, 22 on the shot clock. Black guarded by Goldwire. Nice kick. Platek. Knocked away. Platek gets it back. Still got time. Steal nearly by Goldwire. Now got to get a shot up. Brooks. Run down by Anthony, and they got 20 more seconds. And now Duke fouls.
North Carolina was all over the place on that possession. Clearly did not get the shot that they wanted in scramble mode, but able to come away with a long rebound.
Anthony's 71% on the season from the line.
North Carolina's missed 10 free throws in this game, now 11.
Wow. They are allowing Duke to hang around as Moore comes back in for Goldwire. No, for Baker rather, as Goldwire started towards the bench. Now he comes back in.
Remember, Carolina likes to tip it out if they miss.
Roy Williams will use a timeout.
Well, there have been some unsung heroes for both teams, but especially North Carolina. Christian Keeling has been one, and Justin Pierce has been another. At the end of the first half, with a bit of an odd lineup for North Carolina, Pierce has a great drive, then knocks down the three for 5 huge points to end the half. And in the second half against the zone right in the middle, without hesitation, catching it, turning, and shooting. Huge offensive rebound that he grabbed. You know, North Carolina has had a number of different players step forward, whether it's been Leaky Black, Justin Pierce, Christian Keeling, in addition to the expected players like Garrison Brooks, Cole Anthony, and Armando Bacot. And some big plays also by Andrew Platek, both defensively on the glass. And that's what North Carolina's going to need in order to win in the ACC and win a game like this.
And Leaky Black's got 9 assists and 7 rebounds to go with those 7 points. A minute 11 to go. Duke ball. Stop and start. Stanley, 5-point game.
Duke playing 5 out, spreading the floor, and just looking to drive it.
And Platek gets nudged by O'Connell, and Andrew Platek will go to the free throw line. They're going to have to do it at the line.
You know, Platek has always been an excellent shooter, but this year has really struggled, both from three-point range, and even though he doesn't have a lot of free throw attempts, has not shot the ball well from the free throw line for him.
none of the heels on the floor right now is better than a 71% free throw shooter. Playtech is 59 this year, and another miss.
He's short on that one. He guided that and didn't shoot it. And he's a much better shooter than that.
They have played so hard, and they have played so well. But the free throw line may ultimately prove to be their undoing if they can't hang on here. Jones, and it's a three-point game.
Boy, and there is a ton of time left. Leaky Black, who shoots under 70% from the free throw line, going to head the other way. And Carolina has to get at least one here to make it a two-possession game.
Easy score at this end by Jones.
Just a smart play. Get it to the rim. I mean, Duke is spreading out North Carolina and isolating them as defenders and then driving it.
Black's, I'm sorry, Jim.
Well, the Heels don't want to foul.
Yep. Black 68% on the season.
Leaky Black has had a terrific basketball game, but it takes some guts in this environment to step up the line and knock down big free throws. He knocked down the first.
And they remain 50% as a team on the night, 14 of 28. Jones trying to do it himself. He's fouled. And if you're Roy Williams, the seconds have to be crawling right now here in the last minute of the game.
Well, that's the problem. You're allowing Duke to score with no time going off the clock. They'll be able to set up full court pressure and try to direct the ball where they want it, to get a steal, a trap, and then to foul whom they want. But at least North Carolina, that possession, didn't come off a corner three-point shooter and allow a kick out for an open three.
Jones knocks down the first. The foul on Anthony, his fourth.
And Trey Jones, a clutch free throw shooter down the stretch. So that is ice water in the veins right there.
Into the hands of Anthony. They're going to play it out. No need to foul. Got it back within one possession. You got a 10-second difference.
Run a little box set here. Back screen. And then screen away. Duke defended it very well.
Anthony fouled by Jones and earns a trip to the line.
Boy, Duke defended that action very well. Playtech went a little early on the screen to set that little diagonal up screen. But Cole Anthony just creating something along the baseline in order to go to the free throw line.
Anthony went 14 for 14 in the game against BC when he returned last week. Then went just 3 for 8 from the line against Florida State Monday. But I think if you're Roy Williams and you had to pick who you wanted the line right now, it's Anthony or Leaky Black.
This goes in. I think North Carolina should bring some full court pressure, try to slow the advance.
Jones again trying to go coast to coast, and he will. And a timeout taken by Mike Krzyzewski. Just under 16 seconds to play, a one-possession game again.
And the reason you want to bring some full court pressure there is you let Duke get a run up to the basket, and it's just going to be an easy score. And they can get the ball down court. They got the ball down court in, what, 3 seconds? And now the pressure's back on North Carolina. One, to inbound the ball cleanly. And then if they don't turn it over and get fouled, to step to the line and make big free throws.
Well, to your point, Jay, look at how quickly Duke has scored its last 3 buckets.
Well, Duke has been very intelligent in attacking the rim. They have spread the floor with this small lineup, and they're putting the ball on the deck and daring North Carolina to foul them. And right here, Jones trying to go into the chest of Cole Anthony, and Cole Anthony intelligently doesn't foul. But it's a quick bucket, and all of a sudden now it's a 2-point game. and there's some real game pressure on North Carolina to inbound the ball cleanly and then step the line and make big free throws.
They do have a couple of timeouts in case they can't get the ball in, but as you say, if they do get it in, the pressure's coming, it's coming fast, and they got to make some good decisions.
Yeah, and I think you really want to get it in first and foremost to Cole Anthony. Let him get it in because he can break pressure, an excellent ball handler and a very good passer, but he's also shown that he can step up and knock down free throws.
Yeah. Again, you would think that Roy Williams' top two choices to shoot free throws, if and when it gets to that, would be Anthony and Black. Carolina, not to belabor the point, but they have struggled mightily from the free throw line tonight. They are 16 for 30. Otherwise, this one would be over.
What makes this more improbable is North Carolina's doing all this without Brandon Robinson, who's out with an injury. He's out for 2 to 4 weeks.
Carolina led by 13 with 3:55 to go. They lead by 2 right now. They've got the ball.
This is all about setting a good screen and running the ball into your hands.
They've got 2 defenders on Anthony right now. Nobody on the ball, but they get it into Anthony. Lost it. Stanley inside, blocked by Brooks. And we got a foul against the Blue Devils. What a sequence that was.
Anthony splitting 2 defenders, and the ball got knocked away. But the basket-saving and maybe game-saving play was made by Garrison Brooks. Yet again, splitting the defenders. Wendell Moore knocks it away, but watch Garrison Brooks here. Wipes that shot away from Cassius Stanley. What an amazing sequence as this game comes to a close, and a big-time play by an outstanding leader, an outstanding player in Garrison Brooks.
Andrew Platek will be at the line for Carolina. Remember the last 2 free throws. Both were considerably short. He's got to make both here to make it a 2-possession game. Now, we were told they were going to review something, whether or not, I believe, whether Platek might have been out of bounds before the foul was committed.
They can't review that.
Yeah,
but they can't review that.
Yeah, Ted Valentine is saying players get back on the floor.
No, they can only review whether the ball went out of bounds on one player or another.
Right.
There's nothing to review there.
Yeah, he was clearly fouled.
They're not allowed to review this.
So Platek is going to the line. 2 free throws.
They can't go review whether somebody stepped out of bounds or all that stuff. I don't believe that they're allowed to do this. If they were looking at whether he was out of bounds before the foul, that's a judgment call that is not reviewable.
Whatever they were looking at, it has not had an impact. There's been no change in the call, and Platek is at the line for 2.
Now understand what I'm saying. If they were worried about the ball going off Wendell Moore versus Andrew Platek, they can review that.
Yes.
Oh. At least that one got above the rim. He shot a much better ball there.
Look at the disparity in the free throw shooting tonight.
Oh, that's why the game's close. There's no question about that. The question is, does Roy Williams foul here? And remember, earlier this season against Clemson, he forgot to tell his team to foul up 3 in a similar situation. He's not going to forget this time.
No, so you got to believe he's going to want them to. You got to believe he's going to tell them to. The question is, who do you foul with how much time left? How do you execute this?
You don't care. When the ball gets across half court, you want to try to slow the advance if you can, turn the ball handler. But once it gets across half court, you want to foul before anyone can get into a shooting motion. Under 5 seconds is the general rule as to when you would like to foul.
Yeah.
So you don't care who you foul. It's taking away a 3. You're not worried about the free throws. You're worried about a 3.
We talked about it off the top of the show. Both teams can be doing great. One can be struggling. it doesn't seem to matter in this rivalry. The game's always great.
I don't know what it is, Dan, but you just bring a different level of fight in this game. You can't explain it.
Lots of three-point shooters on the floor for Duke. O'Connell's out there, Baker, Stanley, Jones, and Moore. Nobody on the ball right now for Carolina.
Want to make Duke catch it coming back to the ball.
Here comes Jones. And there's the foul. Only 1.7 seconds came off the clock.
Yeah, really a little bit early to foul. I'm not sure you wanted to foul before it got across half court. Certainly not bad, but not ideal. Now the question for Duke is, if you make the first one, what do you do on the second free throw? Do you miss it?
The rebounders are coming in. The big guys are coming in. The shooters are going to go to the bench, it looks like. White, Hurt, Delorier. A lot more size for Duke.
And if you think free throw blockouts aren't important, they are.
Everybody's standing in this building right now.
And you have to be alert for tipping the ball back out as well. You got two shooters, Matthew Hurt and Alex O'Connell, positioned.
Got the miss. Jones, can he get a shot off? Yes! Oh. Jones knocks it down to tie the game as the horn sounds.
Just amazing. The question is, did he get it off in time? It looked like he did. And instead of shooting a soft shot, Tre Jones just threw the ball right at the rim to get the long bounce out. Just amazing.
And then went and got the ball and then navigated his way through traffic and then hit the shot.
You saw Matthew Hurt and Alex O'Connell positioned as shooters at the three-point line. And throws it right back out. Did he get it off? Looked like.
Yes, he did.
Take a look at when he catches it. Dribbles, no, it got knocked away. Then he dribbles again. I was wondering if that was a double dribble, but it got knocked away. What an amazing play by Tre Jones. All the way around.
Yeah, what a stunning last 4 minutes in regulation. Duke was down 13. The intentional miss. Jones goes and gets it. And with nerves of steel, Jay knocks down that shot.
And this building in stunned silence right now. You know, Leaky Black has had such a great game. But instead of reaching with one hand, he needed to be down there on that ball with two. You know, that can be the difference between winning and losing, getting on the floor for that ball.
Now if you're Carolina, how do you mentally regroup to get into overtime after the way regulation ended? So we go to overtime. Remember, Carolina's lost in overtime to Clemson. They've lost in overtime to Virginia Tech, and it certainly appeared for the vast majority of the 40 minutes of action we've seen, Mr. Billis, that Carolina had the upper hand in this game. They just couldn't seal the deal, and missing all those free throws gave Duke an opportunity.
Even missing all those free throws, Carolina had the game won. All they had to do was secure the ball off the second free throw. And just a remarkable turn of events for Tre Jones to miss that free throw on purpose, but to do it like just throwing the ball at the rim to get that kind of bounce. And then North Carolina not quick enough to the ball to be able to get there to either tie it up or grab it.
Now the crowd trying to do its part to boost the spirits of the Heels as we get set for overtime. Remember, Vernon Carey's out of the game.
Cassius Stanley jumping center for Duke. Duke Carolina delivers again.
Tapped ahead by Brooks. Goldwire runs it down, and it's Duke ball. Boy, so many big plays by Tre Jones in the last few minutes. Driving on Anthony, gets it to go.
Well, Duke with that 5-out offense They are spreading out North Carolina, and they are just driving it. And it's too long of help, especially for the Carolina big guys.
How about this, Jay? The first lead for the Blue Devils since it was 4-3, and now Moore swiped Brooks across the face, and Moore is called for the foul. Goes and pats Brooks on the back. Didn't mean to do it.
Now Brooks, after getting hit in the face, has to step to the free throw line.
Brooks wants a towel, and it's Roy Williams who's taking it out to him. And will Brooks be okay to shoot these free throws?
Got poked right in the eye, it looked like.
If Brooks can't shoot the free throws, this was a common foul. Then Mike Krzyzewski chooses from one of the other 4 players on the floor at the time. Pierce is coming in. Coach K chooses from somebody else who was in the game at the time.
I think this is the dumbest rule on the planet. The opposing coach should never make a decision about the opposing team, ever.
And Mike Krzyzewski's putting Bacot on the line.
I mean, this decision is being made because Duke fouled North Carolina. How does the Duke coach get to choose this? This is a dumb rule. Just a dumb rule.
It's different if it's a flagrant foul, then Roy Williams would get the choice. But I agree with you. In the sense of in a common foul, Mike Krzyzewski gets the choice, not anybody on the bench like the rule used to be. It used to be worse. Anybody in the game, Bacot knocks down 1 of 2. Boy, Jones is just in takeover mode right now, isn't he?
He is a big-time player, and it has been mano a mano with Cole Anthony. But it's been the smaller lineup of Duke that's been able to spread out North Carolina on the defensive end. The screen for the screener action, Duke switching it.
Jones with a steal. And a foul. It's Leaky Black, and he has fouled out of the game. Jones not getting up yet. What a night for Leaky Black. Meanwhile, there are other issues for Carolina. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, they have just sent people back to the locker room to try to get Keeling to come out. Keeling was taken to the locker room just after we went to overtime. He has not returned. Garrison Brooks just went back to get his eyes checked. And so now they've got to get someone back out on this court. Here comes Keeling. They've got him back out because of that foul out. They've got to have another player in the game.
So Black is out. Keeling's coming back in. Brooks has gone to the locker room. And Roy Williams is just trying to find 5 healthy, eligible players to put in the game. Great night for Leaky Black, but he's done. How about Trey Jones the last few minutes?
He's a winner, just a winner.
23 points, 6 assists tonight for Jones. Boy, with everything that has gone wrong for Carolina this year, with all the losses that they have suffered, this one you would think would sting more than any other one if they go on to lose this game. Given how well they played for, take your choice, 36, 37 minutes. But now it's Duke with Jones having scored the Blue Devils' last 15 points. Lay in by Anthony, 3-point game.
A terrific drive by Cole Anthony and an answer for North Carolina to get it to a 1-possession game. But it's really about getting a stop.
Jones again, not this time.
Well, not his best shot. And perhaps should have given the ball up or tried to get it all the way to the rim. I don't think you have to settle for a jumper right now.
Incredibly small lineup for Duke with Carey having fouled out, some of the other bigger guys on the bench.
Relatively small lineup for North Carolina with Garrison Brooks out after getting poked in the eye.
Tough one. And it goes for Anthony to bring him back within 1.
How about this battle between Cole Anthony and Trey Jones?
Moore into the chest of Bacot, who has fouled out of the game. And now what does Roy Williams do?
Well, that was offense-initiated contact, but I thought Bacot might have pulled his arm down a little bit. Armando Bacot has had a terrific effort. Now he went right into him. Just a smart play by Wendell Moore. But Bacot also had his left arm on his back, which could have been the reason that the call was made.
So Bacot out. Brooks injured. Leaky Black out. And Walker Miller is back into the game. Played 2 minutes at the end of the first half because of foul trouble on the other bigs then.
We'll talk about a makeshift lineup for North Carolina. Walker Miller's older brother, Wes, is the head basketball coach at UNC Greensboro.
And Brooks emerges from the locker room. Can he return? He's talking to Roy Williams right now. And he's going to the scorer's table. Platek left alone, ties the game.
Boy, terrific jump stop.
What a game.
Both teams showing so much fight.
Stanley spins. Follow no, Carolina ball.
The Goldwire was right there for the stick back, just couldn't get it to go.
Anthony Miller is fouled. Great drive and dish by Cole Anthony.
Just can't stay in front of him. And how about the trust in his teammate Walker Miller for Cole Anthony to give that ball up, just drop it off under the bucket. Miller trying to get to the front of the rim on the drive.
Cassius Stanley has fouled out of the game. Joey Baker back in, and Walker Miller will go to the line for just the third time this season.
But he's not missed yet. These are the biggest ones. He's a 100% shooter on the season.
Do you think he ever expected to be in this situation in this game tonight? Brooks ready to check in for him if Miller makes this second one.
Well, how about Carolina fighting back to take the lead?
We're down by 5 here in overtime. Up by 1. Still got 2.5 to go.
North Carolina going with a 2-3 zone. Trying to keep Duke out of the lane. See if you can make him prove it over the top. But Duke can still drive the gaps of this zone.
Goldwire baseline. Too strong. Tipped out by Moore. Baker for 3. And another rebound for Anthony, his 11th on the night. Being hounded by Goldwire.
Goldwire, an excellent defender, one of the top steals guys in the ACC, especially given the amount of minutes he plays.
Keep in mind, Anthony's got 4 fouls.
Good pass.
Pierce. And it's out of bounds to Carolina.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at this to see whether the ball went off of Carolina or Duke.
O'Connell was complaining long and loud that it was off of Carolina.
Well, it's good to complain because at worst you get a rest. I think it's going to be off O'Connell.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Platek made contact with it, but you can see it's still on O'Connell's palm long after that. What a night. Unranked, struggling, under 500 Carolina coming in as decided underdogs against the number 7 ranked team of the nation, Duke. The Heels leading almost the entire night, getting great contributions from all 7 of their regular players who were in the game. Got a big free throw for Walker Miller recently, and just trying to scratch and claw their way to a victory. It is confirmed Carolina ball.
Let's go! Let's
Over 40 minutes with the lead for the Heels, less than 2 minutes with the lead for the Blue Devils. Anthony to inbound. Can they get something to Brooks inside? He's got a size advantage on Moore.
How to get it in.
Stolen away by Baker.
Boy, just a really poor job by North Carolina. Great play by Duke to steal it. But you have to expect to run a better out-of-bounds under situation.
Jones drives, left it a little short. Boy, Anthony behind the back in traffic. Good decision, and another good one made by Keeling, who's played great tonight. Not really looking for Brooks down low, Jay.
Well, they can't get into anything because Goldwire wouldn't let Anthony get the ball back. A high screen by Pierce.
Anthony off balance, very tough shot, but Pierce is there. Left alone, he makes it a 3-point game.
Carolina in man-to-man.
Jones, way off.
Well, Duke's defense was able to force North Carolina into a really terrible shot. But Justin Pierce was there. Watch, he set the ball screen. Nobody picks him up. Nobody blocks him out. And just picks the ball up at the end of the shot clock and puts it in.
Carolina was down by 5 earlier in overtime. They are on a 9-1 run right now to lead by 3, and they've got the ball with 45 seconds to go.
Really what North Carolina did, Dan, was they got up off the deck after taking what could have been a knockout punch, and they got back up and started throwing punches of their own.
No call on the drive. Moore to Baker. Baker for the tie, in and out.
Can't ask for a better look than that.
And O'Connell, or Baker rather, reaches in and fouls Anthony, who will go to the line.
After the challenge on the other end, and North Carolina wanted the foul, you are not going to get a better open shot in transition. In and out. That's how close this game has been.
Baker, a very good shooter as well. 42% from beyond the arc on the year. And now Anthony to the line for the Tar Heels. Timeout taken by Roy Williams. These players must be absolutely exhausted.
How could they not be? I mean, they have literally left everything out there.
Cole Anthony, in his first game in this rivalry, has been really the key figure for Carolina through most of the night.
Well, Cole Anthony is just an amazing talent and a fabulous basketball player that is only getting better and better. And you give him some more time in the Carolina system to learn this offense, the secondary break, he's going to keep improving. He's so dynamic, whether it's off a ball screen, in the open court, he can change speed and direction. He is a good and willing passer and an excellent guard rebounder. He has 11 rebounds as a point guard. That's big time.
And maybe what gives Roy Williams the most comfort of all of that right now is that he is 7 for 8 from the free throw line tonight, because Carolina's got to find a way to salt it away at the line, something that they were not able to do in regulation, and this is the guy you want on the line right now if you're the Heels.
Yeah, and the timeout gives obviously all the players on the floor a chance to get a little bit of rest and to regroup, but also they can talk about exactly how they're going to handle their defense for the last 20.9 of this first overtime period. And I say first overtime period because who knows after what we saw to end regulation. I mean, when North Carolina fouled Duke and Trey Jones, they were up 3, Trey Jones had to go to the line, makes the first. I mean, the probability of Duke getting the ball back like that, what is it, 1 in 1,000?
It's low, and he missed it so well, if you will. It wasn't soft up off the rim, and let's let our big guys get it. It was a rocket off the rim at the end of regulation. He had made the first, and we'll show you what Jones did, and then he went and got the ball back himself.
Well, and Duke had positioned 2 shooters along the three-point line, Matthew Hurt and Alex O'Connell, but the shooter from the free throw line, Trey Jones, was the first one out to the ball. obviously knew how he was going to shoot it, and it just came off perfectly out by the three-point line. He was quicker to the ball. Leaky Black had an opportunity, I thought, to get down with two hands and at worst tie it up. But just a fabulous play by Tre Jones to send the game to overtime.
Can Anthony make it a two-possession game?
Has a smile on his face doing it. How about that?
Two huge free throws.
Big time. Just big time.
Jones. And a foul.
Just the absolute wrong thing for Christian Keeling to do. There was zero reason to foul there. And he fouled with the left hand. He was trying to keep distance here. First he had his arm on Tre Jones, which he shouldn't have had that arm bar on him. That wasn't called, but this is just it's not a smart play. And if you are going to go anywhere near him, then you got to take him out so that he can't make that shot.
27 and counting for Jones. Big miss.
That looked like it went out Wendell Moore, but hard to tell from this angle.
And they'll have a look at it. And inside the last 2 minutes of regulation or any overtime period, you can look at it to see who knocked it out of bounds. So again, a chance for the players to get a breather.
Yeah, might have touched Carolina last. Just a fingertip.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Platek. Wow, that is as close as it gets.
Boy.
Yep.
It was called Duke ball on the court, and it'll stay that way.
That'll stand. That was the right call.
Yeah. So, the Blue Devils will have it with 15 seconds left, down by 3. You know, I'm going to bet anything a few hours ago that LSU Auburn game would have been the craziest game for the day, but this one's blown by that one, I think.
Yeah, we have seen some crazy endings in this, and the end of overtime looking about as crazy as the end of regulation.
Yeah. And you've said it a couple of times, but it bears repeating. Both teams deserve an incredible amount of credit. Duke for the comeback, Carolina after they fell behind in overtime to show the mental and physical wherewithal to get back into the game, take the lead.
They're probably looking at the time here to see what the exact time was when the ball finally hit out of bounds. The clock doesn't stop until the ball hits out of bounds. So whether it hit a fan or the floor, whatever it was, that's when the clock is supposed to stop. So the ball goes off last Platek, 15.2.
And it looks like they're leaving it at 15 flat. Duke ball.
A lot of time taken to leave it the way it was, isn't it? North Carolina cannot allow a 3 here.
Moore with a drive. 1-point game. Timeout Duke.
Wendell Moore doing the exact right thing on the catch, and that is put your head down and drive it. Carolina does not want to foul. Christian Keeling jumps toward the ball and over pursues a bit and opened up a middle drive. Smart not to foul there once Moore got past.
And now if you're Duke, even if you don't get a steal, you're going to foul. You're going to put them on the line. Even if they make both, it's a one-possession game.
Yes, but you don't have to foul right away. You know, you've got enough time where you can try to get a quick trap, try to get a turnover, and then you can foul.
And if you're Carolina, there's only one guy you want taking those free throws if you can somehow manage that.
Cole Anthony.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That may be the key. Does Duke put 2 guys on Anthony? And we have our answer already. Do they put 2 guys on Anthony and try to do anything they can to keep him from getting the ball?
I put 3, and look at the 2 they're putting on him.
Yeah.
Goldwire and Jones.
2 great perimeter defenders. The game within the game. Trying to get it to him, got to get it in. They call their last timeout.
You just have to get it to the first open man. Anthony breaking toward the corner really was open to get the ball.
Both teams now out of timeouts.
One of the ways to get Cole Anthony open that you can is use him as a screener. But Christian Keeling can't just stand there. He's got to move. But if you use Anthony as a screener, they're not going to want to come off of him. And it could get the cutter open to catch the ball. And the 2 guys I would want to catch it would be 1, Cole Anthony, and 2nd would be Christian Keeling right now.
And as much as they all want to get it to Anthony, if you can't, somebody else has to step up and accept the responsibility of getting the ball and getting fouled.
Yeah, you got to get it in.
Yeah. What a game. What a pressure cooker it's been all night long.
You know, there is something else on the line. If Carolina gets to 100 points, everybody in the building gets a chicken biscuit.
Well, now you're getting to the heart of the matter. As if the game weren't already big
Just
enough.
when you thought Duke Carolina couldn't get any bigger.
Last 100 meetings, 50-50, the exact same number of points.
And the exact same number of timeouts for each team,
Yes.
0.
Can Carolina get it in? Can they get it into Cole Anthony?
Harrison Brooks inbounding the ball. He is sure-handed and smart, but he cannot hesitate. When you see an open man, he's got to get the ball. It's got to be delivered.
Any chance you think they'd risk going over the top? Somebody break?
Yeah, absolutely. There goes Pierce.
Yep. They get it into Playtech.
Wow, they did not call a foul there, did they? They called it out of bounds to Duke. Boy, that's amazing.
Wow, Moore and Playtech collided shoulder to shoulder.
And they're going to say that was somehow incidental contact,
or that both guys were going for the ball,
which would make it incidental.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this at all.
That's a Duke foul.
That's a foul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Playtech had
That's
the ball before
unimaginable.
Moore got there.
Yeah, that is hard to imagine that you wouldn't make that call.
And
wow,
they are reviewing again, but what they are reviewing is who knocked it out of bounds.
Yes, they cannot review that foul. But hopefully they're not beating themselves up over missing a call, because they missed a call. That's a bad miss.
Call on the floor was Duke ball.
And the question is, was it enough to be able to overturn it? That's as close as it gets, isn't it?
So hard to tell. In the hands of Playtech initially. The swipe by Moore.
I'll tell you, that is a bad no call. But the situation the referees have right now is they can't do anything about the call that they just missed.
Nope.
They have to call this appropriately, and they called it Duke ball. I don't see anything there that makes it clear and convincing that it should be overturned. Indisputable video evidence. I don't see it.
Now The officials evidently have seen the same looks that we have shown you at home, and now the decision's got to be rendered.
And again, television does not show, ESPN does not show the officials this. It's a company called DV Sport.
Right.
So they may take our pictures, but they're the ones that dole out the looks that the referees see and what the referees may ask for.
Duke ball. Jones to inbound, neither team with a timeout. Moore back to Jones. He has been the man down the stretch. And he got fouled.
Not sure whether it was Platek or Keeling. Looks like it was Keeling, but Platek was there. Looked like he got him on the arm as well. Trey Jones just puts his head down, goes right into the chest of Christian Keeling.
Boy, when Vernon Carey fouled out of the game for the Blue Devils, Trey Jones just took over from a Duke perspective.
Yeah, tough call for North Carolina. It looked like Keeling had legal guarding position and was moving to maintain it. What huge free throws and what a gigantic second half and overtime Trey Jones has had in this game.
And again, make or miss here, can Carolina get the ball to Anthony, the guy they want to have it, to try to race it down the court.
And Goldwire right with them right now.
A miss, a tap. Jones, tipped, yes! Wendell Moore puts it home for Duke. And again, they will go to the monitor.
It looked like he got it off.
A broken play, a tap back out, an air ball, and alertly Wendell Moore going to the rim and banking it home. Did he get it in time?
Usually it is North Carolina tapping the ball out off their missed free throw. Duke taps it out. Trey Jones again able to get a hold of the ball. And Wendell Moore right there to be able to put in that miss. Just an amazing game. Absolutely amazing. Great job by Wendell Moore to tap it out, and then Goldwire gets it to Jones. Tough shot, but nobody turned to block out Wendell Moore, and there's no question that got off before the buzzer. What an amazing finish, not only to regulation, but overtime, with Trey Jones both at the end of regulation, at the end of overtime, at the free throw line. Just remarkable.
Wendell Moore with an enormous play with about half a second to go, banks it home for the Blue Devils, who rallied late in regulation, blew a lead in overtime, fought back later in overtime, got the benefit of a no call, and even after a Jones miss on a broken play, found a way to make a bucket and win this game in a great victory for them, and just a gut-wrenching defeat, Jay, for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Just tremendous fight shown by both teams. When they were on the deck, they got up every time. Remarkable.
Holly Rowe is with Trey Jones.
Trey Jones, you step to the line at the end of regulation. It's hard to miss a free throw and execute like that to tie the game. How were you able to do that?
Honestly, me and Coach Shire have talked about that exact moment. He told me it's probably best to take a couple steps to the right, so it ricochets. And in practicing it, I felt like it comes out to the same spot every time. So, I mean, just preparation. I feel like God just watching over it.
You step to the free throw line again with 6 seconds left, able to tie the game. Tell us how you finished so strong in this rivalry moment.
I mean, just trust on my work. That's really it. I feel like we didn't have our best game tonight, but we continue to fight until the clock hits 0, and it took that entire time for us to get the win tonight. So, I mean, the way we were just able to fight, we were down in double digits late in the game. Didn't show any weaknesses. Everyone was still strong. Continued to fight. Coaches believed in us. We just got it done.
There was a moment you took over this game. 15 straight points at one point for you, Trey. What was going through your mind as you took over?
Tyus Stones. He's been in the same moment before. He did greater things than that. So Shout out Big Bro. I know he's watching back home or wherever he is right now. I'm just trying to be like Big Bro.
You were that tonight. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Played 42 minutes, scored 28 points, and led Duke to a victory here in Chapel Hill.